There are a lot of videos on breaking chickens down, but nothing like my dad's method to carve an entire chicken into boneless, skinless parts in just 5 minutes. As a former Chinese restaurant owner, my dad's done this hundreds of thousands of times, so keep watching to learn how to do this efficiently, save lots of money, and look like a badass in the process.
呢隻雞係4磅半到咧，呢個雞胸肉喺度嚇，嗰條骨喺度嚇，呢條骨你喺正中間嘅邊嗰度。
This is the breastbone, and we'll cut on both sides of it to expose it.
兩邊係啊嘛。
A quick note, you can follow my dad's method with most types of knives, not just Chinese cleavers.
佢呢度咧就有條骨喺度嘅嚇，順住條骨落嚟嚇 ，OK。咁之後咧喺個背脊嗰度咧就一隻刀落嚟中間度。
Here, we're slicing through the skin on the back and breaking the joint that connects the wing to the body. These 2 cuts prepare us for the next big step, which I think is worthy of performing at a talent show or showing off to your friends.
咁一撳佢就開晒啦，係嘛？一撳佢就開晒啦，係嘛？
呢個係除皮，除晒皮。
除晒皮嘅，呢個唔要皮嘅嚇，呢個唔要皮嘅。嗱，一掹就，哇！啲雞胸肉好靚，好好肉。
As my dad repeats this on the other side, this is something you might have missed, but my dad never takes his hand off of the knife. Notice how he uses the heel of his knife as an extension of his hand to pry chicken joints apart. This is much more efficient and keeps one hand mostly clean at all times. Finally, after peeling away the breast and wing, just cut through the skin to disconnect the pieces from the body.
呢個雞腳雞髀咧，咁反轉佢。
By bending the legs back, we're popping the hip joint out before cutting through it. Then we'll pry the entire chicken leg off the body. Next, we'll cut through the other leg joint and pry it off.
呢啲咧肥嘅就拎佢出嚟啦，唔好要啦。
Here my dad's trimming off the chicken tenders.
呢條雞呢條我嚟炒啦，呢條肉呢個白肉嚟嘅，一掹佢就開啦嚇。
Next, remove the little nub on the end, the chicken butt.
除咗佢唔要啲乜到啦，得㗎。
This is optional, but my dad likes to cut the remaining carcass into smaller pieces.
等佢冇咁大嚿，容易做啲啦嘛。
係咪一定要咁定係？
唔得，你可以成個都得，成個咁擺喺度。
Before we move on to finishing the parts, this technique actually used to be a matter of survival for my dad. He used to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. to carve at least 20 chickens every single morning for his Chinese restaurant. As a one-man show, he couldn't afford to buy separate parts, which are 2 to 3 times more expensive per pound. For you and me, it might not be a big deal to buy boneless, skinless breast for dinner, but for my dad and a lot of other restaurant owners, carving whole chickens is sometimes the difference between being able to afford to feed your family or being forced to shut down the restaurant. It's the techniques like this that hold so much weight that I want to preserve in our cookbook. Moving on, we'll debone our chicken leg.
喺條中間呢條筋嗰度，順住佢落嚟，順住個骨啦。
咁咪刮，
刮一刮，刮一刮佢，最先係甩得乾淨啊嘛。先甩得乾淨咁刮佢。好啦，呢個關節度咯，係嘛？
關節係最後嗰度。
係啊，最薄嗰最容易。嗱，一刮佢就甩㗎啦嘛。誒，順住啲骨嘅邊嘅，係嘛？呢啲我嚟煮湯咯。嗱喺呢度。
I'm freezing this frame to point out that my dad is holding the knife with the spine side down, which he is about to use to fracture the next bone.
得啦。
呢個唔係尖個，你係轉多咁。
用
OK。
唔係用呢度，用呢度咁嘛。啊，呢度有條骨喺度啦。全部起身。呢個係條骨，呢個唔要啦。
咁呢啲白色嘅部分，
白色係軟骨嚟嘅，係軟骨，你可以除咗佢，可以唔使除都冇。如果軟嘅，可以咬得爛嘅，係脆嘅。起咗佢咧就割乾淨啲肥嘅先至蒸嘅，掉咗佢唔要㗎。
After repeating for the other leg, we'll move on to our breast and wing pieces.
好啦，起咗雞胸肉出嚟先。嗱，雞胸肉咧，嗱。 你順住佢雞骨嗰度，腳骨嗰度。
This section is pretty simple. Just cut away the meat around the wing joint and pry off the skin. Then cut off the huge flap of skin and discard it. For the wings, my dad leaves the skin on for most of his recipes and just trims the tip off.
有好多人中意蒸呢度，好滑呢度啊！嗱，我可以咁樣整開佢。嗱，我哋蒸又得，呢個我哋蒸，呢個我哋煮湯，呢個白肉嚟嘅。
This was just the first portion of several days of filming chicken recipes and techniques for our upcoming cookbook. We'll be sharing more in the weeks to come, but make sure to check out our newsletter linked in the description where I share my dad's technique for making simple chicken broth and a nostalgic Chinese mustard and salted duck egg soup. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.